The Georgian parliament, controlled by the ruling Georgian Dream party, overrode President Salome Zurabishvili's veto on the bill on transparency of foreign influence, and already on June the 3rd, the spokesperson of the Georgian parliament, Shalva Paposhvili, completely approved an analog of the Russian law on foreign agents. Its critics are confident that just like in Russia, the government will use it against political opposition. In turn, the ruling party claims that the law is necessary in order to stop foreign forces trying to destabilize the situation in the country.
If NGOs and media want to participate in the decision-making process and influence the lives of the Georgian people by receiving funding from foreign governments, they must meet a minimum standard of transparency. The public must know who is behind each author.
The so-called law on foreign agents comes into force on June the 4th. Now, within 2 months, the Ministry of Justice will develop bylaws and create an electronic portal. Their organizations that receive more than 20% of foreign funding will have to register and declare their finances for 2023. The United States and EU condemned the decision of the Georgian parliament. In particular, Washington, represented by State Department Representative Matthew Miller, stated that the Georgian parliament adopted an anti-democratic bill that does not comply with European standards.
The European Union, the Council of Europe, the OSCE and the UN said that this law was simply terrible. It couldn't be corrected, changed. It should have been simply abolished because it infringes on fundamental human rights. The American side stated that they would take sanctions against those people who took part in the creation of this law. Despite this, Georgian Dream still passed the law and created a political crisis.
A group of Georgian NGOs is going to challenge the adopted law in the Constitutional Court. They are also preparing an appeal to the European Court of Human Rights, writes TRT. The journalists themselves are convinced that the true purpose of the bill is to limit discussions in the run-up to the parliamentary elections, which are due to take place in October.
It is necessary for the entire opposition, the entire civil society to prepare for the elections. Yes, Georgian Dream passed the law on foreign agents, but it paid a huge political price. It lost 10% of its rating, and if before these events 36% of voters were ready to vote for them, now apparently they have approximately 26% of the voters. And it is very important that the decline in the ratings of the Dream continues, so that the opposition has a united front.
Protests in Georgia have not eased for almost 2 months now. Tens of thousands of people take to the streets to express their protest to the actions of the authorities. To disperse the activists, the authorities are using security forces with water cannons, tear gas and rubber bullets to use against the demonstrators. The European Union and the United States have repeatedly condemned the usage of force against protesters in Georgia, but yet again the ruling authorities do not pay attention to this. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Nikita Skoblikov, UATV News.